Colin, you and Will are both playing at a pretty high level. You guys have been together from the beginning. I don't know if you both went to prep school or not. Can you maybe?
No, we did not.
No. But you since plebe year. Can you talk about the relationship you have with Will?
Yeah, I love Will. We're always spending extra time watching film together, doing extra things after practice. He trusts me, I trust him, so I think we have a good connection.
So Will is kind of the prototypical middle inside linebacker. He looks a lot like a Diego Fagot. You are not. Can you talk about what you've done to overcome your lack of size to play a very physical position?
Yeah, I feel like I've said this before. I just use my fundamentals, the things that I'm good at. I try to use my speed, my size to an advantage. That's what I've been doing. How
do you all play off one another? I mean, in this defensive scheme, the inside linebackers are asked to make a lot of tackles, but there are slightly different positions. He's the Sam and you're the Will, is that correct?
Yeah, he's the Mike and the Will.
Right. Kind of tell us how it's different for those who are not, not football educated. How would you say they're different? How do you play off one another?
I think just probably the biggest difference is the pass difference in coverages. I might have a little bit more man coverage, a little bit more different zones than he will, but really it's just he lines up the field, I line up to the boundary, and we have our jobs and we got to get them done.
Obviously you're playing at a high level. I mean, Coach Newberry and Coach Volker just said this week, we think Colin's playing his best football. They praised the game that you had against the Air Force. They said was maybe one of the best games they've seen out of an inside linebacker in quite some time. Can you talk about where you're at, and do you feel like you are playing your best football?
Yeah, I think the whole defense is kind of getting we're kind of getting in a groove. So I think as everyone improves, everyone gets better, I can get better, and I think we're only going up from here.
What is it, do you feel that's got you playing at the level you are? Is it just experience after all this time in the defense? It's so second nature now?
Yeah, playbook becomes easier, but I guess the game slows down a little bit too, but I think just coming in each day and just working and getting a little bit better each day.
So both you and Will are somewhat similar personalities. I think if either of you had your druthers, you would not do these interviews. You're both more quiet. I mean, I know that Will has probably come out of his shell a little more and been more of a leader, but can you talk about the personalities? You guys are different, and they said there's another member of the inside linebacker room who could be the spokesman, who is a boisterous guy. Who's that?
In our linebacker room?
Inside linebacker.
Kenny could be one.
Kenny, that's who it is. McShane.
Yeah,
that's who they're talking about.
Yeah. He's definitely got a great personality. But yeah, I think as a linebacker group, we all mix together well, and we're all good friends. So,
as you look ahead, I mean, obviously, do you and Will kind of challenge each other? I mean, is there almost like a competition to see who can make more tackles?
No, I don't think it's a competition who can make more tackles. I think we both are really happy for each other's success when we're out there, so I think we kind of just try to help each other get better.
Has it helped to have another coach in the room? Not only do you have Coach Volker, he's a defensive coordinator who's got the big picture, but then you can also dial it down with the guy in Coach Wimberly who played in this defensive system, this exact position. He's been in your shoes. Does it help having another guy? Because now you got two guys that can really hone in on.
Yeah, exactly. It's another coach we can ask questions to, and he's been in the system, like you said, so he's got good insight, and it definitely helps us out.
So I was curious, I think we've talked about this, but I'll ask again. I mean, who recruited you out of high school? What were your opportunities? If you hadn't gone to Navy, where do you think you would have ended up?
I think I was about to get offered a half scholarship to Fordham, and really that was probably my only option. But luckily Navy called Coach McDonald. Kevin Brennan was helping out with that a little bit, and it worked out.
So, I mean, you glad you made the decision?
Oh, very glad.
Right, in hindsight, looking back, it's a great move.
Yeah, best decision of my life.
So, Will, I'll come right at you with the first thing, is that you and Ramos are media hounds. You love doing the interviews and all that. Somewhat kidding. I mean, this is something you've had to grow into. I remember interviewing you after you won the Admiral Mack Award, and you were answered each question with one word, literally. How have you kind of developed knowing as a captain that you need to speak?
Yeah, just like in anything, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And I think if you look back to that interview, it'll show. Just get more comfortable the more you do it. So.
But as a captain, you need to have a voice, and I think Coach Newberry, Coach Volker have both lauded you for the leadership you've displayed, and not just setting an example in the field, but you have become more vocal within the team, have you not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, exactly like you said. Like as a captain, you know, people are looking up to you more, and like you said, you got to be more of that voice. So it's a role I've had to grow into. You know, after Diego left, I had to step up.
Yeah. So you and Colin, you've been together from the beginning. You came in here plebe summer. I don't know if you all hit it off right away, but you know, you've been together a long time, and now it's got to be really cool that you guys are starting together, making things happen, both playing well.
Yeah, you know, the past, I think, 3 years basically been playing. Past 2 years definitely playing side by side is awesome, a lot of fun. So.
What can you say about Colin? I mean, he's, you know, you are more built like a prototypical inside linebacker like Diego. Colin is not, but he plays so much bigger than his size.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think he does a great job, you know, utilizing his built-in leverage and his speed and block destruction and tackling and everything like that. He does a really good job.
So when you looked at the film, because we heard from Coach Newberry and Coach Volker that they felt he played phenomenal against Air Force, when you look at the film and saw what he did with the 11 tackles, were you impressed?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's everywhere, every single play. You know, he's a huge part of the defense. So.
Do you have to do this?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So in terms of both of you playing so well, I mean, this defense is built for inside linebackers to make plays, and both of you are doing that. I mean, does it feel good, or do you? I mean, just kind of tell me how it's been that, you know, knowing that you and Colin are guys that the team can rely on.
Yeah, you know, it's a great opportunity for us. And a great opportunity for us to give, you know, credit to the D-line, because if the D-line wasn't, if Clay and Bisk and Jay Reed and Luke weren't playing how they're playing, the O-line would be able to climb to us and would block us, but they're playing like a bunch of dogs up front, which is letting us, you know, fly around freely, letting us make plays.
That's a very good point you made, because we had that discussion with Coach Volker on the Zoom call this week, and the defensive line is keeping you clean. Makes your life a lot easier, huh?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
What in terms of the defense as a whole, it's making plays, causing turnovers, getting tackles for lost sacks. How pleased are you with where the defense is?
You know, I'm pleased where we are. We're high up on forced fumbles, but you know, we're not number one, and you know, you got to keep pushing, got to keep getting better every day. So
one of the things you know coaches have talked about, you've played a little bit banged up. You're not 100%, but you can show up every Saturday no matter what. Can you talk about the mindset it takes to shake off whatever bumps and bruises you might have and be able to go out and play physical on a Saturday?
Yeah, you just gotta like mentally get ready. You'll watch a lot of film. You know, put yourself in the game already during the week. So then when you're playing, you're mentally ready, and then the adrenaline. So then all those injuries or knickknacks and stuff like that just go away. You're not even thinking about it.
So was there any motto or kind of a basic philosophy of the inside linebacker room? And do you know, was anything passed down to you from Diego, and what do you pass down to the younger guys in the room, like a Kyle Jacob, like a Kenny McShane, or whomever it might be?
I would say like how we play is definitely a huge thing we emphasize in the linebacker room, fast, physical, and just flying around, you know. Like we call ourselves the L Beast, so that's pretty fun. And then, yeah, I would say how we play is a huge thing in the linebacker room. Like, you got to fly around like you're going to take someone's head off on every play.
Coach, I know you played this position in this type of defense for Coach Newberry at Kennesaw State, but here at Navy, it's a different breed. Have you been impressed with the type of young men you're working with, like a Colin Ramos and a Will Harbour?
Absolutely. They've been a joy to coach. Just talking about both of those guys together, they feed off of each other, you know, and they're both leaders as well. So it's been tremendous just to see those guys and how they act and how they are with their teammates. It's been amazing.
Do you feel they're both playing at a high level right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What does Colin Ramos bring to the table? He's an undersized guy. When you look at him, you think there's no way he's playing an inside linebacker position in major college football.
Just football instincts, right? So if you actually watch him and play, he's always finding a way to slip blocks. He has great block destruction. He also has great change of direction, as well as intelligence, right? So football IQ, understanding what's going on, understanding our scheme as well as what the offense is presenting. So he does a great job of preparing. He has, of course, on the field it shows. So,
and Will is more of the prototypical inside linebacker for Navy, a lot like Diego Fagot, who got a chance in the NFL. But it's not just about having the size. He also has to you're seeing him play at a high level now too, right?
For sure, and it's the same thing. It goes back to our core four, and they do a really good job of staying square, block destruction. Same thing as with Will. The block destruction, has been critical for both of those guys playing at such a high level right now. So,
have they both been merged as leaders within the room? You've got a lot of younger inside linebackers that moving forward when Will graduates, other guys are going to have to step up.
Yep.
Do you like the way that Colin and Will are leading that room?
Absolutely. They both talk enough, and they both talk a lot in the room, as well as just taking the guys one-on-one.
We have to.
Ain't done yet.
I'm keeping this, by the way.
Love it. All right, we back?
Yep.
So you were talking about the leadership they show in the room?
Yeah. So on the field, if you watch practice and if you come out and you see them in the game as well, they're very vocal as far as talking amongst themselves as well as the young guys. So I think they do a really good job of when they come off the field, they talk to the young guys. All right, this is what I see. What are you seeing? And they just continue to be leaders in that way as well.
What's interesting, you say they're vocal, because for those of us who've interviewed Colin and Will, they don't really like to talk much. Back when Will first started doing interviews after he won the Admiral Mack Award, he barely could get one word out of him. Colin is not exactly the most talkative guy.
Yep.
Are their personalities a little different than what we see on the surface?
Absolutely. When you're out here on the field and they're around their teammates, they are a little different, but it's great to be around them though.
So in terms of what you ask out of the inside linebackers, you feel like you're getting what you need out of these two? I mean, obviously Colin is the sorry about that.
Oh, good.
Colin has the will, and Will is the might.
Absolutely. As you can see, they're playing at a high level. They're doing it at a high level, and hopefully they can continue to do that.
So what does you feel like your role is? Obviously, PJ coached this unit by himself. Now that he's a defensive coordinator, he's got broader responsibilities. At times during the practice, he needs to be around the practice field looking at other position groups. He's got a bigger picture to have to deal with. What do you feel like you're kind of here to maybe be more of a personal coach when he's not available to?
For sure, and that's really what I do. As far as when he's walking around, or when he has something else to do, or even when he's working with the linebackers with me, or I'm working with him with the linebackers. I'm more like how can I say this? I look for more of the specific steps, and he's
really honing down in on the fundamentals.
Exactly. There you go. So I'm more of the fundamentals when we go over to Indy, and then he's more of the overarching drill, and we found a way to tag team in, and it's working. So.
All right. Perfect.
Good job, Brent.